Hello there. Well, tonight kicked off the conference semifinals, the Elite Eight, the second round of the Stanley playoffs, and it was not a good start for the Avalanche tonight. Uh, Game one was the only bit of action that took place tonight, and it saw Dallas beat us 5-3 in a game where we never led. We only tied the game once, but after the first time we went down two, we never got closer to a one goal deficit. It was fast and furious, especially the scoring. I mean, after after Sagan started things, Nathan McKinnon tied up just right after, but we just couldn't really do anything in that game, especially defensively. The defense was kind of faulty, committing turnovers, and we were also partially victims of circumstances. Eric Johnson, he gets injured, returns to the ice, only to get hurt again. Now I think he's just banged up, so hopefully he could be okay. However, the news gets more devastating. Philip Grubauer suffered a bad groin injury, and he had to leave the game and didn't return. Pavel Francouz came in relief, and from what I'm reading on NHL.com on my laptop right in front of me, um, not only will Francouz, who's pretty good in his own right, he's been pretty clutch for the Avalanche this season. Not only will Francouz start game two, he may be our goalie throughout this whole series, however long it goes. Because it's not known how long Grubauer will be out, and even if it is short term, we may not want to chance it, especially if Francouz actually goes on a bit of a good tear in net. But like I said, Francouz has been good for us this season. He hasn't started many games for the Avalanche, but the few he did start, he won a vast majority of them. I think he even had a shutout or two. But yeah, so it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough. But even with all that, we still managed to hang in there. But it just wasn't enough. Even when we pulled the goalie with about, I think it was about 3 minutes left or close to it, nothing was clicking. So Dallas drew first blood, and as a certain iconic character once said, of course you realize this means war. We'll get them on Monday, and it's only game one. I mean, my prediction was Avs in seven. Emphasis on seven. I had this being a long series. I think if it went shorter than the max, I would be surprised. But this is going to be a long series. These two teams are monstrous and strong. Uh, the hockey guy whose videos I watch, who goes for Dallas as one of his teams, he said it right. Dallas's defense is underrated. It is. People think it's just Heiskanen. It's a big group. They got a great defense. They racked up a lot of points in the playoffs so far. And Dallas's top line picked a fine time to finally wake up, because even though they won the series against Calgary, the top line wasn't really active offensive wise. Ben, Sagan, and Radulov, they weren't really that much of a factor in that series against Calgary, but boy did they lead the pack tonight. Especially Radulov. Radulov scored twice, and Sagan netted one. I dare say that line could pretty much rival our top line. McKinnon, Landeskog, Rantanen. How about Landeskog? Even in the loss, there were a few good things for Avalanche. Landeskog, he finally got one in. It took what? It took 9 games, but he finally netted one. He had his first 9 points before the goal were assists. He had assists on McKinnon's first goal. It was Landeskog and Ranson who assisted on that game-tying goal that McKinnon scored. But Landeskog finally netted one in the second period. And Nazem Kadri, his offense continues. He had an assist on McKinnon's second goal, so his point total is now up to 12. 6-6, 6 goals, 6 helpers. Mac has at least 1 point in each of the 9 games played, and Landeskog is now part of double digits group 2. 1 goal and 9 helpers for 10 points. But the offense is fine. The offense is still fine. But the defense, this is our worst defensive game so far. Well, this is the first time since this return to play that we've given up 5 goals. The most we given up was 4. We did that twice. But we need to get things cracking. We need to get things cracking defensively, and we need to maintain that Dallas top line. It is awake now. It is awake now. We need to keep them asleep. Just shut them down. That's all I ask. And like I said, Kudobin's, and for what I've seen, Kudobin's not going to be. Well, I'm not going to say he's not going to be a factor. He's going to be a factor, but I don't think he'll be in shutdown mode like Kemper was for Arizona. That was the main thing. The Avalanche had to solve Kemper, and once we solved Kemper, that was it. But Kudobin is not all Dallas has. Dallas is loaded with players, so we need to. But we have been scoring on Kudobin. That has been a problem. We just need to maintain the offense, maintain that top line, maintain Pavelski. Maintain Pavelski. We got a good start to that. Pavelski's name was hardly mentioned. Pavelski didn't have any. I don't think he had a point. I could be wrong, but I don't think he had a point. But yeah. So we just need to maintain that top line and just play better defensively. And if we do, that's going to change things for the better for the Avalanche. So that's my recap of the opener of round 2. And I'm just kind of checking here because I said Pavelski didn't have a point, and it looks like that's true. At least I believe it is. Yeah. Hold on. I'm still checking the stats here. Got it in front of me, and looking. Yeah. Pavelski, no points, -1. 2 shots on goal. But we need to prevent him from being a factor because Pavelski's an Avalanche killer. So that is my recap of the opener. And tomorrow the conference semifinals continue. 2 more series open. Tomorrow night it's game 1 between Boston and Tampa Bay. That's on NBC. Big NBC. And game 1 between Vancouver and Vegas. The only two teams in the Elite 8 who have never won the Stanley Cup. So, and those two series open tomorrow. The only other remaining series, the Islanders and Philly, that starts on Monday, and after that it's game 2 of the Avalanche series. We'll get them Monday. So I'll be back tomorrow night to recap that double dose of action. Double dose. So with that, I say until tomorrow night, fellow hockey fans.